provide support for the armed forces community facing loneliness and isolation this Christmas. The charity offers help with financial worries and feelings of loneliness, and also organises events around the country to bring members of the armed forces community together in person. So let's find out a little bit more about it. Joining me now is Nicola Cook, who's the Director of Specialist Services for the Royal British Legion. A very good morning to you, Nicola Cook. Thanks so much for talking to us. Christmas, obviously, for many people is a really lovely time of coming together and celebrating, but for some people it can be the loneliest and the most challenging, can't it?
Christmas is a joy, isn't it, for many people, and it can be also a great sense of loneliness and stress. I certainly know there will be empty tables around my Christmas table this year for people who are no longer in my family. And we know that 1 in 4 veterans, amazingly, have expressed that they feel lonely. And it is just so important that people reach out and ask for that help. The Royal British Legion are there to support veterans, those who are serving, and their families. And I think what we're hearing particularly at the moment is people are feeling particularly anxious and stressed because of the cost of living crisis. And that is something absolutely the Royal British Legion can help with. So we are saying, as part of the Together at Christmas, please reach out and ask for that help.
Well, yes, so tell us exactly what the campaign can do for people who are struggling.
So Together at Christmas is really about people reaching out for that help. You know, veterans, those in the armed forces, families and loved ones are part of a family, and they're part of a family when they serve in one of our armed forces, and they're part of a family when they leave. They're part of the Royal British Legion family. And we're asking people to get in touch and to say that they need some help. And we, for example, support 7,000 veterans already with telephone calls, buddying support, visits to hospital, but importantly at the moment, very practical support in terms of the cost of living crisis. And we've already, in the last 2 months, provided nearly £2 million in financial support for people who are struggling to pay their gas and electric bills.
And what about coming together? What about the camaraderie of this organisation that pulls together veterans and their families as well? How important is that? Are there various events that people can get involved with?
Yeah, I mean, we've got incredibly nearly over 200,000 British Legion members in every community across the country, and many of our branches are having Christmas events where people can get connected to one another. Sometimes those things, though, are not right for everybody, and it might be that people want to speak to someone, and we're asking people to telephone the Royal British Legion and ask for support. We also have live chats through that support. But importantly, if you need that practical help, please, again, reach out to the Royal British Legion and there will be a friendly voice wanting to help you. People have done their service, and now it's time for the Royal British Legion and the nation to say thank you and to help people during this very difficult time.
And presumably it's particularly hard for those who might struggle with mobility problems to get out and about and to go and meet people. For them, any kind of help is presumably particularly welcome.
Yes, it's mobility problems, of course, and again, Royal British Legion provides funding and support for adaptations in people's homes, both in terms of people who are getting older, but also maybe people who are living with a life-limiting illness such as cancer and motor neurone disease. But of course, we have to remember that mental health is also a significant problem for people to leave their homes. Sometimes people just don't know how to open the door and to connect to their communities and to ask for help. So it's both physical help with physical disabilities, but of course, and most importantly, support with people maybe who are living with the mental health challenges that so many people are at the moment.
Well, yes, and during the pandemic, we did see communities coming together, didn't we? Do you think that we've learnt from that? Do you feel that people are more likely to look out for their neighbours and those more vulnerable people in their communities now?
I think what we see certainly in the Royal British Legion in November, for example, the nation comes together and buys a red poppy. You know, it's their opportunity to say thank you to our armed forces community. I think at the moment we are experiencing certainly lots of people contacting us to say that they're just struggling with paying their gas and electric, struggling with paying for food, struggling for buying school uniforms for their children, struggling to buy Christmas presents for their kids. And of course, that creates loneliness, it creates isolation, it creates stress. We can help with all of those things. And obviously, we're asking people more than ever to reach out and please, please ask for help.
Well, Nicola Cook of the Royal British Legion,